we have a pretty thin agenda, but let's go ahead and get on it. So as many of you may be aware, the Aether registry failed this last week. Took a couple of days to get it back online. Just for everyone's information, we have to renew the certificates every 3 months. There's an auto renew process that often gets wedged. Not quite so auto, needs manual intervention. Don't think it's happening every time, but from time to time it does. So the key here is that we just get that intervention happening as quickly as possible. I chatted with Daph this morning. He says that the logs can trigger a Slack message. That message had been there, but it had been sent to a place no one is watching anymore. So he's going to correct that. He's going to send it to an LF channel that he monitors. But I thought we ought to probably also send it to an Aether, an old ONF, but the current Aether channel. And I don't know if the TST is the right one, or does anyone have opinions on where we might send it?
Probably you might send it to the dev channel instead of TST, in the sense that every user is aware of the registry soft, or is not
Okay,
available.
that's fine with me. Whoops.
But now a more kind of fundamental question is, why do we have to renew the certificate every 3 months? Is because we're getting a free.
The mechanism that is used requires it. It's a security requirement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean I asked that same question, and I can't name the mechanism or whatever is the right thing to call it, but it does require a 3-month renewal.
Yeah, because sometimes sometimes web pages require every 3 months. That's because you get a free certificate, and that is just valid for 90 days. So I wasn't sure whether this is the same case or it was something different.
I don't think that's it, but I will double check. Let's see. Let me complete my notes here. So we'll send it to Aether Dev. The key here is that it get in front of Daph, because and maybe we need to figure out a way to have more people watching. I don't know, but this is something maybe LF more broadly could have more eyes on. I don't know. I'll just make note, double check on the 3-month requirement.
Yeah, but the critical piece here probably is not necessarily for us to get notified, but it basically for somebody to actually take an action right away and execute the manual intervention as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, the signal has to get to Daph, and it was being sent to a channel he wasn't watching, and he's fixed that. So hopefully next time it will be better.
So Larry, just a quick comment. So LF is really big on redundancies. And so rather than it going to just one person, as much as Daph might be the primary, 90% of the time, if for some reason he's out or on vacation or something, there should be someone who's also on that channel as a backup, who's within LFIT, who can jump in.
I will double check.
He should have somebody who he can add to it that will get that message as well and can act on it.
Yeah, thank you. And my impression, he didn't say, but my impression was that it was that channel, but I'll double check on having multiple eyes on the LF channel.
Yeah, even if it's adding me to it, and then if I know he's out, I can grab someone, whatever makes sense. But it shouldn't just be ending up on his plate in case he can't get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. All right, I will follow up on that. All right. So just take a few minutes. We have, for a quick introduction, we have someone from Celestic, hopefully I'm saying that right, who is is looking at Aether and SD Core for a project. Aaron, since you have a few minutes to join here, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and what your interest is and what you've tripped over, because you have the right people on the call to know about it.
Yeah, so hi guys, I'm Aaron, the CEO of Celestic. Our COO Kim is on here as well. We're building we're going to be building a lot of private LTE and 5G networks over the next couple of years. And are looking to open source and for help, but also to contribute in whatever way we can in the long term. And Aether seems like a really good project for what we're doing. We're working with Mozo Labs on the RAN side of things. Right now, we're probably going to add another radio provider as well at some point, but Mozo Lab on the current side of it. We have a small server that we're putting in our deployments, and it's from a company called Silicom, Silicom.
I'm sorry, I'm screwing up my typing here. SL,
SILI
SILI
COM.
COM.
And it's a kind of upper range Atom machine, Intel Atom, that has a ton of networking capability and quick assist and all that stuff. And I've been trying to install the on-ramp on one of those machines, and it has, there's the problem is that MongoDB can't start because there's no AVX instructions on the processor. As far as I could tell, that's the only issue, but I mean, that's where I'm getting stuck.
I'm sorry, I know this. What's the acronym again?
Alpha Victor X.
Thank you. I slipped my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a MongoDB thing, not really a SDRAN thing, or Ether thing, but it's definitely a problem with putting it on this machine. Yeah, so that's where we're stuck right now. But we want to, work with the community at large, and we're going to be deploying these in Malawi first, and then Kenya and Philippines, and wherever else we can get licenses. So we're working with several nonprofit organizations to do this. We're a for-profit company, but our customers are NGOs and media companies. So
did you say both 4G and 5G?
we're starting with LTE.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the cost is so much lower on the RAN side. I mean, I don't see a huge difference in cost on the server stuff, but on the RAN side, it's a lot cheaper. So, as prices or projects come up that need 5G, we'll use 5G.
Okay. So on the immediate issue of the MongoDB, maybe someone else online knows the right workaround here. I would think just an older version of MongoDB would free, depending on the AVX instruction, might work, but maybe SD Core knows something else.
Also, is there a possibility to update the platform to one which supports AVX?
I have power requirements that I need to hit, and no Xeon machine is going to hit those because we're going into environments that don't have power, so it's all solar power.
Okay.
I wish.
Yeah, quickly searching on the internet, basically, yeah, as Larry, you indicated, downgrading the MongoDB version. We're kind of like, based on what I see here, is Mongo 4.4.6. That one doesn't require AVX. I can share the link what I'm seeing here on Stack Overflow.
But
Yeah,
but from an Ether or SD core point of view, that there's no known problem with going back to the older MongoDB, is there?
That's something I haven't checked. I don't know.
So,
I-
if it is a 4G, no, we don't use 4G extensively just to keep some configuration backups. So I think it should be safe to go back in the older version. But in case of 5G, we do use many more functionality of Mongo. So yeah,
I think-
and I believe it's just 4G is the scope as of now here, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm
and
just
we
gonna
can
make a note
probably,
here.
yeah,
Oh.
we should be able to provide the version in the Helm chart. So it should be easy to go back to specific version. Yeah.
Okay, is there somebody I can work with somewhere to work on that together?
I
Yeah.
can, I'm sorry, go ahead,
Yeah, go ahead.
please.
No, go ahead, Larry. I was going to suggest Slack is the option. Yeah.
Yeah, so Slack is a good place, and you can probably an on-ramp, I would think, because this is really a configuration issue. And it should be really straightforward to just explicitly call out the version of Mongo you want and not change anything else.
Oh, just in the on-ramp scripts, you mean?
Yeah, in the you can call out any one of the microservices and spell out a particular version of that service if you want to.
Right, okay. I'm not, yeah.
But I
No,
think
I'm-
So
post
I think
the question
Larry,
on ramp, and hopefully there'll be enough eyes on it there to.
yeah. Because see, currently we just use the MongoDB Helm chart, and that Helm chart versions we need to find out if we can get the older Helm chart which maps to this specific version. Right, that's the work we need to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not in the Ether core, it's in, or not in the on-ramp, it's in the Helm chart.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Can you overwrite it though in the values override file?
Using local Helm charts, you should be able to override it.
Yeah.
the next question I have is a practical one, but how do I join the Slack?
Oh, I will submit you an invitation. That's a good
Okay.
question because
Yeah.
it takes. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be, yeah, I'm trying to think. LinkedIn is not a great place to communicate with me in particular, so if you could send me an email, I'll make sure, and then I'll have your email and yeah, all right, got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thanks, everybody.
And hopefully that will get you to your next hurdle
Exactly. As these things go.
as these things go. All right, well, it'd be great to hear, keep track of your progress, and please speak up if you run into other problems.
All right.
All right. Let me see here. I've got rock status is the next item. Sean, I see you're on. I'm just wondering how things are going with the actions and everything. You were waiting for some pull request resolution from DAP, I think.
Yeah, Gabriel might have an update on that. We were waiting on secrets for the GitHub actions. Do I see Gabriel?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so I have been trying to follow with Duff on. He needs to update the secrets that in the ONOS project organization, such that we are able to publish the Helm charts directly into the charts Ether registry. Well, into the charts in the Ether project charts. I haven't heard back yet, but I can continuously kind of try to follow up with Duff and see if there is an
Yeah,
update
I will
on that.
follow up and you follow up independently, so we'll hit him twice.
Oh yeah, no, I sent a message early in the morning today already to Sean and Duff. So, but yeah, so basically we're waiting on that.
Yeah, other than that, there was a PR to I suppose sort of consolidate the names of deployed pods in Rock. Gabriel gave me a review, and really the action is on me to go back and make some code changes again. So I'll push that this week.
Okay,
That's kind of unrelated to the first, but I guess it depends on the first.
yeah, thanks. All right. Looking through who's online, I do not see Wuzhong, so we're probably not going to get any RAN update.
Just kind of quick update probably on my side. Something that I did last week is there were a few PRs that were opened by the Dependabot to improve GitHub Actions. So basically to update GitHub Actions, like the versions that we were using for certain actions. So I basically merge all of those PRs related to GitHub Actions.
Was this strictly related to SD Core or?
No, to SD-RAN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, SD-RAN. So the thing is that we already made the SD-RAN GitHub Actions. We added probably like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
So by now, new versions of GitHub Actions, those sub-actions have been, there. So Dependabot opened a new PRs to update these GitHub Actions dependencies. So that's what I basically merge everything that is related to GitHub Actions, because I know that's not going to affect the code itself. Yeah, just that.
All right, good. So it's been merged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything related to GitHub Actions is merged now.
All right, thanks. I'll just say merged up front here. All right, thank you for that. So the next bullet was one I added. It's related to QA, but I wanted to elevate it for everyone's attention, which is we now have a Jenkins job. Let me think of where it is. I think I can show you. Not a Jenkins job, sorry. We have a Jenkins repo. With one job in it. It's a very simple integration test. I just want to call it to everyone's attention. I know, Mark, for example, you have some experience here. Mostly I'm looking for feedback on best practices, that we don't do something that works but is stupid. And for Canal, it would be good if we took this one test and using whatever VM you can make it work on, and don't worry about this being the right long-term answer, just demonstrate that you can make this work. Would that be doable?
Yeah, definitely. I have also started exploring our existing Ether CI management. So, yep, I think this looks.
So what I would like to encourage you to do is to not worry about the full breadth of Ether CI management repo.
Mm-hmm.
But just this one, I would like to see one end-to-end example working, and this is a perfectly, representative test that we want to have running, because CI management repo is full of stuff we're not bringing forward.
Yeah.
So once we have just one example, and like I said, whatever VM you can make it work on, I'm not particular about it being the right long-term answer. And it would be good to get other people's eyes on it as to how this might be better factored as well.
Sure.
Okay, now stepping on to the QA status, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, I was debugging a UPF issue. During that, I also saw that it was a multi-UPF test. So that's where I saw that our second UPF is getting crashed continuously, and was in a discussion with Gabriel regarding this. So Gabriel has shared a resolution for this, a fix for this issue. So I'll try that fix after this call, and will I mean, once the fix is confirmed, I think Gabriel is going to raise a new PR for that.
Yeah, so to provide a little bit more background information on this, we are specifying a charts version for the SD core Helm charts, but there is no variable specifying the charts version for the UPF. So in the case of when we deploy additional UPFs, we are always pointing to the latest version. We are not pointing to a specific version. And that basically, that's kind of in summary the change that.
Thank you. Yeah, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So before I open the PR, I ask Kunal to help me verifying that. I know this is gonna work, but it's always good to kind of double check that part. So, but yeah. So I'm adding that. I need to create 2 PRs, one for the 5GC and one for on ramp to add this basically one line on each of those repos.
Got it. Thank you. That, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Moving
go
on
ahead.
to our UE throughput test. So I have ran a test on one of our VMs, but there is some networking issue which is going on, and due to that, UE runs the UE Sim10 interface is not able to reach to the other machine. So the internet access is not reachable right now. So I am doing that issue, and I think it's just a networking issue, so it won't take much on that. So this is still in progress right now.
Question about these tests. Are you guys just running throughput tests based on UDP traffic, or you are also testing TCP based traffic?
Right now, I have set up a UDP traffic one.
Is it possible to also add TCP traffic, or?
What is the default for UE ransom? I would have thought iPerf was TCP.
iPerf by default is TCP, yes, unless you add a flag -u flag. That would be the only way to kind of do it in a UDP based traffic, but otherwise it's going to be TCP, and that's what I'm kind of curious to know what kind of traffic it is.
Sure, I'll add TCP as well.
Thanks. And just it would be good in the test output, and I'm not exactly sure where the right output is, if this is a saved log file or if I can see it in the console output. Should show the recorded.
Yeah, so I have planned it to be on console for now, and if required, I can add it to file as well. We can just write a file, and just like other logs, I can add it to the attach it to the job itself.
Yeah, certainly at least console for now, just to see it and be good.
Sure.
Okay, and then this last one is related
this
to
one is related to JJP demo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's just missing is that you actually have the pointer to the VM you want to run the test on, then you generate. Well, I mean, sorry, you need a Jenkins. It really comes down to needing a Jenkins to test this on, right?
Yeah.
That would be.
Actually, I have a question regarding, do we need to use the same Jenkins, or is it?
No. And
Yeah,
any Jenkins that you
fine.
can make it work on.
yeah.
So let's call it the test Jenkins server.
Yes. Yeah, I have a Jenkins deployed in my lab, so I can use that.
And so I think, so let me capture it this way. The deliverable, if you want to think about it,
Mhm.
is that anyone can clone the Ether Jenkins repo and reproduce it.
Right.
That's ultimately, yeah. And I'm happy to be your guinea pig. If I can do it, then I always say anyone can do it. So,
Sure.
and I guess at some level, you can just augment the README, flesh out the README um, with documentation
Yeah.
in that directory or in that repo. Okay. Okay, I see Gabriel's adding another item to the bottom.
Yeah, I was trying to add something before before we move on. The point, my question basically, I wanted to check whether you and Bilal are planning to work on the Helm charts, local Helm charts for the scenario where on-ramp is in a machine and the Kubernetes nodes are on separate machines. As of now, the local Helm charts only works if the Helm charts are in the same node as the master Kubernetes node.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So you're, why am I not able to come down here? All right, maybe it's because I was going to put some notes there, but could you add a sub bullet here that the scenario you're interested in? It's the
I just closed that one, so let me
okay.
let me get it.
Oh, maybe now I can go back in there. Ooh, good. So the use case is where on-ramp runs on a different node than Ether is installed. The Ether master node, I guess it would be.
Mhm.
So in that case, the charts are going to be on the on-ramp node, not correct?
Yeah, so basically, I am kind of starting to explore. I'm exploring this scenario because it's going to be useful for what we are planning to do, and based also related to something that Bilal mentioned, how they were using in Purdue. So basically, they have a very tiny machine where the source code is. Let's say where the source code, the repository for on-ramp is. Basically having everything in this tiny machine, right? And then you have the Kubernetes cluster nodes completely separate and nothing else is running there besides Kubernetes itself.
Right.
So that's kind of the scenario, right? So and some capability that was added, by you is for on-ramp to support local Helm charts. But the current support of local Helm charts means that the Helm charts directory or repository has to be on the same machine where the master Kubernetes node is. Which kind of like goes against this separate deployment, having a tiny machine for on-ramp or for anything that we want to cluster, and we start putting some stuff in the Kubernetes nodes machines.
Got it. Yeah. This makes sense. Just doubling back to what you said, Bilal uses it in the same way you want to use it in terms of on-ramp being on a separate node than the cluster.
Yes, but I don't think he has used local Helm charts, and I think that's why you don't see this issue, right?
All right, so my note here is that Bilal uses this configuration too, but does not use local Helm charts.
Right. So in our case, we do need to use local Helm charts to, different.
So what we need is the combo of both.
Right.
Got it, okay.
So in that case, we can get rid of the Kubernetes cluster, bring it back, and nothing happens. We don't lose any data. We don't need to kind of back up any data. Just keep, as long as we keep in good shape the on-ramp machine, everything else can go and come back, right? So make things
Good.
simpler.
Good. Yeah, I like that. I think, so just for everyone's information, Bilal did the lion's share of the work on on-ramp last summer as an intern, and he's going to start up again part-time this summer. And this sounds like a good, his main objective, by the way, is to get the scalable AMF work integrated, but we'll find a few other things to flesh out his summer. All right, is there anything else?
There is a comment from Ajay.
Yeah, I
text
see. I
message
just
on
look at
LinkedIn.
that. I think he, at the end of it, says, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no issues.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good productive meeting. And
Thank you.
not too long.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.